So you've done it. You've spent years, maybe even decades, building an incredible environmental services firm. You've dealt with the regulations, you've managed the projects, you've built a team. And now you're thinking about what's next. But for you, it's not about squeezing every last dollar out of a sale. Nope. It's about a clean, fast, and certain exit. Okay, let's get into the playbook to make that happen.
And that's the big question, isn't it? After all that blood, sweat, and tears building the business, how do you make sure selling it isn't a long, drawn-out nightmare? The great news is, you actually have a ton of control over this process, way more than you probably think.
And the first thing to understand is that this strategy, well, it's for a very specific kind of seller. If your number one, absolute top priority is to minimize the drama and just get the deal done, then you need to be talking to buyers who are wired the same way. We're going to look at the two types who are perfect for this. All right, let's dig in. First up, we got to choose the right path for your exit. And we're comparing two major players in this space, the strategic consolidator and the national roll-up. Now, they have slightly different goals, but both of them can deliver on that speed and certainty that you're looking for. Okay, so what's the real difference here? Well, the strategic consolidator has this standard playbook they run every time. They want to fully integrate you, which probably means they'll want you to stick around for a structured transition, say 12 to 24 months. The national roll-up, though, they're all about the tuck-in. They've got checklists, they've got templates, and they're just adding you to their bigger platform. That often means a much quicker handover. The key here is that for both of them, you're not their first rodeo. You're slotting into a well-oiled machine, and that machine is built for speed.
Now let's look at this table, because this is where you can really see why these buyers are a good fit. Check out that cash at close column. It's high for both. That's your certainty right there. And notice the rollover equity is low, meaning you don't have to keep a bunch of your own money tied up in the new company. Same with earnouts, those future payments that depend on performance. They're limited. The bottom line is their deals are designed for a clean break, not some complicated, messy entanglement that lasts for years.
To get that clean deal, you have to get inside their heads. And a buyer's mindset, especially these types of buyers, really boils down to one word: risk. If you can understand what they're worried about when they look at an environmental firm, you can prepare for a super smooth diligence process and, you guessed it, a fast close. And this right here, this is their roadmap. They are not just kicking the tires on your financials. No way. They are going deep into the regulatory heart of your company. Your compliance record, your quality control systems, your chain of custody procedures, all those licenses, these aren't just details on a checklist. They're the absolute foundation of your company's value and its biggest potential landmines.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? When someone buys an environmental firm, they're not just buying your clients and your revenue. They are literally stepping into your shoes and taking on this massive legal and ethical responsibility for compliance, for safety, for getting it right. And once you really get that, all that intense questioning during diligence suddenly makes perfect sense. Okay, quick gut check. Be honest with yourself. If a serious buyer called you up today and asked for this stuff, could you get it to them in 2 days? If you're hesitating, or if the answer is a flat-out no, that's okay. It's just your first big sign of where you need to start preparing. Because for them, this is a day one, show me you're serious kind of request.
All right, let's talk about the finish line, the money. Because a clean exit isn't just about a fast process, it's about financial certainty. And getting that cash up front is huge, especially when you understand the tax implications, specifically California taxes.
So you basically have two options. You can get all your cash at the close, or you can do an installment sale where you get paid out over a few years. Now, that installment plan might sound good, spread out the tax hit, but, and for anyone with a California business, this is a huge but. There's a major catch. And that catch is a little thing called California tax sourcing. Here's what it means in plain English. The very second you sell your company, the state of California figures out what percentage of that sale was generated there. And that percentage? It's locked in. It applies to every single dollar you get from that sale, even if you move to Montana the next day and get paid 5 years from now. Delaying the payments does not reduce your ultimate California tax bill.
So that brings us to your next piece of homework. And this is not something you do on the back of a napkin. You need to sit down with your CPA and actually model this out. What's the real after-tax cash look like in both scenarios? My guess is, for a seller who's all about certainty, the beautiful simplicity of that all-cash deal is going to win 9 times out of 10.
Okay, we've talked about who the best buyers are and why they think the way they do. Now let's get down to the how. This is your practical 3-step playbook to get more firm totally prepped for that fast, low-risk sale you want.
It's really just three things. Step 1, organize all your licenses. I mean, every single one. Get them into one file that's ready for an audit. Step 2, document your controls. Put your QA/QC manuals, your SOPs, all that good stuff together to prove your process is rock solid. And step 3, summarize your risk. Write up a clear picture of your insurance history and contract terms so a buyer can figure out what they're dealing with fast. Look, if you take only one single thing away from this whole explainer, please let it be this. Having what we call a clean diligence pack ready to go before you even think about talking to a buyer, that is the number one thing you can do to speed up your deal. It tells buyers you're a pro, you're organized, and you're serious about a smooth ride.
So what's in this magic pack? It's pretty simple, really. It's your current licenses, your most important contracts, 5 years of your insurance loss runs, and a quick summary of any past disputes or issues. That's it. This isn't everything they'll ask for eventually, but it's the core package that answers all their biggest first questions. Think of it as your fast pass through the toughest part of the whole process. And that brings us right back to our final question. Forget all the theory, let's get real. Could you, right now, produce this exact pack in 48 hours? Your answer to that question tells you everything you need to know about how ready you are for that fast, certain exit you've worked so hard for.